Hello guys and gals, and this is part 8 of the official Pokemon Handbook Deluxe Collector's Edition by Maria S. Barbo. Also, part 8. Yeah, I think we're almost done, actually. I'm not sure how long it'll take to read the final few pages, but I'm looking at either 9 or 10 as being the series' end. Anyways, we left off last time. We did, I'm gonna check my notes here. Always keep those handy. Let's see. In part 7, we did numbers 107 to 126. And we ended off with Pinsir, I believe it was. Oh, here in a second. Oh, yeah. Scyther was definitely one of them, then Electabuzz. Okay, yeah. Through here. Pinsir. We ended off with Magmar last time, and we'll start this one with Pinsir. Okay, and I think it learns Guillotine, I believe. But anyways, it says, okay, this is number 127, Pinsir. Also, Pokemon is copyright to Game Freak and Nintendo. Anyways, it is a bug element stag beetle type Pokemon that stands 4 foot 1 inches high and weighs 121 pounds, and it knows Vice Grip. It can also learn Seismic Toss, Guillotine, Focus Energy, Harden, Slash, and Swords Dance. It's good against Grass and Psychic, but bad against Ghost, Flying, Fighting, and Fire. It has no evolution. And let's see what this says. Pinsir depends only on its great strength and massive pincers to win a fight. If it can't crush an opponent in its claws, Pinsir will swing the enemy around its head and throw it hard. Your Pokemon may faint just looking at Pinsir's terrible claws. Yes. It says, there's no such thing as a bad Pokemon. They might have some weaknesses and character flaws, but Pokemon don't do bad things on their own. Masters command Pokemon to do bad things. Meowth, a member of Team Rocket, is the only exception. Okay, I think that's all of that. Now we are ready for number 128, which is Tauros. I always really like Tauros. It is a normal element wild bull type Pokemon that stands 4 foot 7 inches high and weighs 195 pounds. It knows Tackle, but it can also learn Stomp, Tail Whip, Leer, Rage, and Takedown. It is good against None and is bad against Rock and Ghost. It has no evolution. It says, Olé! Tauros is as stubborn as a bull, to say the least. Its hot-headed temper makes it a challenge to control, even for an advanced trainer. To attack an enemy, Tauros charges violently as it whips its opponent with its long tails. Also, I like to note that in Generation 8, in the Isle of Armor expansion set, the DLC for Pokemon Sword and Shield, Tauros will charge straight at you, while Bouffalant will actually curve to hit you, but Tauros will just charge straight ahead. I always thought that was kind of cool. Okay, we are to number 129, which is Magikarp. Magikarp is a water element fish type Pokemon that stands 2 feet 11 inches tall and weighs 22 pounds. Maybe that's 2 foot 11 inches long. I don't know. Anyways, it knows Splash. It can also learn Tackle. It is good against Fire, Ground, and Rock, but it's bad against Water, Electric, Grass, and Dragon. It evolves by normal means at level 20. Now, the thing about Magikarp is that it's basically terrible. Anyways, it says here, in a once glorious past, Magikarp was as strong and indestructible as it will be once it evolves into Gyarados, but it isn't now. With Splash and Tackle, it is as its only techniques. Magikarp is one of the weaker Pokemon. You can fish for a Magikarp almost anywhere and start training it immediately for evolution. Also, it is said that it can jump a mountain. That's what one of the Pokedex entries says, is that Magikarp can actually jump a mountain. Anyways, its evolution tree is Magikarp and Gyarados. And we are going to talk about number 130 now, Gyarados. That's Gyarados. It is a water flying element atrocious type Pokemon that is 21 feet 4 inches long. It weighs 518 pounds. It has no techniques, but it can learn Bite, Dragon Rage, Leer, Hydro Pump, and Hyper Beam. It is good against fire, ground, fighting, and bug, but it is bad against water, electric, and dragon. It evolves by normal means at level 20, but it being a Gyarados, it will evolve no further. The shiny version of Gyarados is red. The shiny version of Magikarp is gold. Okay, it is hard to believe that this large snake-like creature evolved from a weak Magikarp. Even more amazing is that it changed from a single water element into a dual water flying element. That gives this rare Gyarados unbelievable power. This Pokemon has a nasty temper, so approach with caution. Its fangs can crush stones, and its scales are harder than steel. If it gets angry, Gyarados will think nothing of destroying an entire city. Its Dragon Rage technique can cause typhoons and terrible sea storms. Gyarados is legendary among sailors. That was Gyarados, number 130. We are moving on to number 131, which is Lapras. That's one of my personal favorites anyways. It is the water and ice element transport type Pokemon that is 8 feet 2 inches tall and weighs 485 pounds. It knows Water Gun and Growl. Other techniques it can learn are Sing, Mist, Body Slam, Confuse Ray, Ice Beam, Hydro Pump. It's good against ground, flying, and rock, but bad against water, electric, and ice. It has no evolution. Sadly, Lapras is nearly extinct. Lapras isn't bitter, though. This gentle, good-natured creature gladly carries passengers across small bodies of water. The heaviest Pokemon are Golem, weighing at 622 pounds, Gyarados at 512 pounds, and Snorlax at a whopping 1,014 pounds. And they are not easy to catch. You'll need Great Balls or Ultra Balls to capture these plump Pokemon. And that was Lapras. We are now to number 132, which is Ditto. It is a normal element transform type Pokemon. It is 1 foot tall and weighs 9 pounds. It knows transform. It knows no other techniques. It is good against nothing and bad against rock. It has no evolution. Okay, it says here, Ditto is double trouble. It has the amazing ability to copy the opponent's DNA or genetic code. Then it rearranges its own cells to instantly turn itself into a mirror image of its enemy, with the same shape and powers. Transform is the only technique, but it's all Ditto needs. Once it has transformed into another Pokemon, it can use that Pokemon's strongest techniques. But be careful, no one is sure whether Ditto can match its opponent's power levels, too. Very true. That was 132 Ditto. Now we are to number 133, which is Eevee. It is a normal element evolution type Pokemon that is 1 foot tall and weighs 14 pounds. It knows Tackle and Sand Attack, but it can also learn Quick Attack, Tail Whip, Bite, and Takedown. It's good against Thing, bad against Rock, and evolves using a Water, Thunder, or Fire Stone. The evolution tree is as follows. If you use a Water Stone, it evolves into Vaporeon. If you use a Thunderstone, it evolves into Jolteon. And if you use a Fire Stone, it evolves into Flareon. Okay. We are to number 134, which is Vaporeon. It is a water element bubble jet type Pokemon that stands 3 foot 3 inches tall and weighs 64 pounds. It knows Tackle and Sand Attack, but it can also learn Quick Attack, Water Gun, Tail Whip, Bite, Acid Armor, Haze, Mist, Hydro Pump, and it is good against Fire, Ground, Rock, but bad against Water, Electric, Grass, and Dragon. It evolves using a Water Stone. When an Eevee uses a Water Stone, it becomes a Vaporeon. Vaporeon is the Bubble Jet Pokemon. The Water Stone turns Eevee into a water element Vaporeon. Vaporeon lives close to the water. Because its long, beautiful tail is edged with a fin. Many people think it is a mermaid. This talented Pokemon can melt into water and make itself disappear. It is said in one of the Pokedex things that its DNA is very similar to water. So, yeah. We are now ready for number 135, which is Jolteon. It is the electric element lightning type Pokemon that stands 2 feet 7 inches tall and weighs 54 pounds. It knows Tackle, Sand Attack, and can also learn Quick Attack, Thunder Shock, Tail Whip, Thunder Wave, Double Kick, Agility, Pin Missile, and Thunder. It is good against water and flying, but bad against ground, electric, grass, and dragon. Its evolution is via Thunderstone. When you use a Thunderstone on a regular Eevee, it becomes a Jolteon. With a Thunderstone, Eevee changes into the shocking Pokemon Jolteon. This creature collects negatively charged atoms from the atmosphere. It can use them to crash out 10,000 volts of lightning. When Jolteon is mad, the hair on its body turns into needles that are fired at its opponent. Okay, now we are to number 136, which is Flareon. It is the fire element flame type Pokemon that stands 2 feet 1 inch tall and weighs 55 pounds. It knows Tackle, Sand Attack, and can also learn Quick Attack, Ember, Tail Whip, Bite, Leer, Fire Spin, Rage, and Flamethrower. It's good against grass, ice, and bug, but bad against fire, water, rock, and dragon. It evolves when you give an Eevee a Firestone. Let's see. The Firestone transforms Eevee into Flareon. This fiery Pokemon stores thermal energy from the sun in its body, causing its temperature to skyrocket to more than 1,600 degrees Fahrenheit. Then run for cover. Flareon's fire powers are scorching with blazing fire technique that is released from an internal fire sac. Flareon may be the strongest Eevee evolution of all. That was number 136, Flareon. I believe, let me check really quick. I think that we're going to 146, but we'll check and make sure real quick. Yes. We are to number 137, Porygon. It is the normal element virtual type Pokemon that is 2 feet 7 inches tall and weighs 80 pounds. It knows Tackle, Sharpen, and Conversion, but it can also learn Psybeam, Harden, Agility, and Tri-Attack. It is good against none, weak against rock, and has no evolution. Says Porygon's crystal-like body is 100% computer generated. That means it is made up of computer code. Like a video game character, it lives and moves freely in cyberspace. Some collectors prefer showing off Porygon to fighting with it. Okay, we are now to 138, which is the Omanyte line. Omanyte, rather. It is a rock, water element spiral type Pokemon that is 1 foot 4 inches tall and weighs 17 pounds. It knows Water Gun and Withdrawal, though it can also learn Horn Attack, Leer, Spike Cannon, and Hydro Pump. It is good against fire, ice, flying bug, and rock, but bad against fighting, water, electric, grass, and dragon. Evolves normally at level 40 by normal means. The evolution tree for Omanyte is Omanyte, and it evolves into Omastar. We are now going to talk about Omastar, which is number 139. It is a rock water spiral type Pokemon that stands 3 foot 3 inches tall and weighs 77 pounds. If I recall, this is also one of the fossil Pokemon. It knows Water Gun, Withdraw, Horn Attack, but it can also learn Leer, Spike Cannon, and Hydro Pump. It is good against fire, ice, flying bug, fire, rock, but bad against fighting, water, electric, grass, dragon. It evolves normally at level 40, but being an Omastar, it can evolve no further. Where do you find a Helix fossil? You can get one by defeating a super nerd, a rival Pokemon trainer on Mount Moon. Omastar is a scientific mystery. According to some theories, Omastar died out when its heavy shell made it impossible for it to catch food. I believe that. We are now on to Kabuto, the Kabuto line, which is a another fossil. It is a rock water shellfish type Pokemon that stands 1 foot 8 inches tall and weighs 25 pounds. It knows already Scratch and Harden, but it can also learn Absorb, Slash, Leer, and Hydro Pump. It is good against fire, ice, flying, bug, and rock, but bad against fighting, water, electric, grass, and dragon. It evolves normally by normal means at level 40. Wait, did we already read about that? Yeah, okay. I want to make sure that I read these. Sometimes I forget. It says, seen from above, this long extinct Pokemon looks like a common smooth river rock, but when seen head-on, it becomes clear that Kabuto is no less than a tricky beetle-like Pokemon. To get a Kabuto, you must first get a dome fossil by defeating a super nerd on Mount Moon. The dome fossil was taken from the ocean floor. Then bring the fossil to the scientists on Cinnabar Island. They'll revive your Kabuto. This is the evolution chain for Kabuto, which is Kabuto and Kabutops. We'll now talk about Kabutops. It is right here. It is a rock, water, element, shellfish type Pokemon that stands 4 foot 3 inches tall and weighs 89 pounds. It knows Scratch, Harden, Absorb, and Slash, but can also learn Leer and Hydro Pump. It's good against fire, ice, flying, bug, and rock, but bad against fighting, water, electric, grass, and dragon. It evolves by normal means at level 40, but it being a Kabutops already, it will evolve no further. Kabuto evolves into Kabutops, whose sleek shape is ideal for swimming. During its vicious attack, Kabutops cuts and drains the enemy's. During its vicious attack, Kabutops cuts and drains its enemy's body with its sharp claws. It looks a lot like Scyther, actually. We are ready for 142. This is another prehistoric Pokemon. This time we're going to talk about Aerodactyl, which is number 142. It is a rock flying element fossil type Pokemon that stands at a height of 5 foot 11 inches tall and weighs 130 pounds. It knows Wing Attack and Agility, but it can also learn Supersonic, Bite, Takedown, Hyper Beam. It's good against fire, ice, flying, grass, and bug, but weak against electric, rock, and ground. It has no evolution. It says here, Aerodactyl can't be captured in the wild. It must be cloned in the Pokemon Lab using old amber from the Pewter City Museum. The prehistoric terror could be... The prehistoric terror could be deadly if it got into the wrong hands. Aerodactyl goes straight for an enemy's throat with its saw-like fangs. Pokemon Pokedex pick, field trip. Take your team to visit the Pokemon fan club in the beautiful seaside city of Vermilion. Your Pokemon friends will love the daily celebration held in their honor. We are to number 143, and that is Snorlax. Snorlax is a normal element sleeping type Pokemon that stands 6 foot 11 inches tall and weighs 1,014 pounds. Its techniques are Headbutt, Amnesia, and Rest. But it can also learn Body Slam, Harden, Double Edge, and Hyper Beam. It's good against none, bad against rock, and it does not evolve. If this rare Pokemon were one of the 7 dwarves, it would be Sleepy. Its favorite activities are eating and sleeping, and it's not nearly dwarf-sized, weighing in at more than 1,000 pounds. Snorlax is one of the laziest and biggest Pokemon around. It will lie down anywhere to take a nap, even in the middle of the road. Once the water from an entire lake splashed out and dried up when Snorlax took a nap there. It takes up to 900 pounds of food to satisfy Snorlax's gargantuan appetite. Then, exhausted by the effort needed to eat, Snorlax is ready for a nap. Plus, the bigger it gets, the sleepier it becomes. So you may not want to feed it too much. That is, if you ever plan to spend time with it, or you could just give in to fate and use Snorlax as a pillow for long naps. That was number 143, Snorlax. Looks like we are to the legendary birds, and we are to number 144, which is Articuno. Articuno is the ice-flying element freeze-type Pokemon that stands 5 foot 7 inches tall and weighs 122 pounds. It knows Peck and Ice Beam, but it can also learn Blizzard, Agility, and Mist. It's good against grass, ground, flying, dragon, fighting, and bug, but it's weak against fire, water, ice, and electric. It has no evolution. Says, this mythical blue bird is part of a trio along with Zapdos and Moltres. It lives at the bottom of a cavern where the current is strongest on the Seafoam Islands, or at least that's how the legend goes. It's said to wait in plain sight and to appear only to doomed people lost in icy mountains. Pokedex pick. Like most rare species, the legendary bird trio is hard to catch but worth the challenge. Take your time, slowly lower their energy or put them to sleep, and bring lots of Ultra Balls. A Pokeball just won't cut it with these magnificent creatures. Oh, majestic creatures. Okay. We are ready for, and almost done here, we are to 145, which is Zapdos. Zapdos is an electric flying element, electric type Pokemon that is 5 foot 3 inches tall and weighs 116 pounds. It knows Thunder Shock and Drill Peck, and it can also learn Thunder, Agility, and Light Screen. It is good against water, flying, fighting, and bug, but weak against electric, dragon, and rock. It has no evolution. Make a right before you leave the Indigo Plateau power plant, and you may spot Zapdos, the second legendary bird. It's a powerful and awe-inspiring combination of electric and flying elements. Legend says that Zapdos appears from the clouds while blasting huge bolts of lightning. Its light screen defense cuts the amount of damage it receives from other techniques in half. Approach with caution. Try using the same technique to capture it as you would with any legendary bird. That was number 145, Zapdos. And the last one that we are going to go over is Moltres. Moltres is the third legendary bird. It is a fire-flying element, flame type Pokemon that is 6 feet 7 inches tall and weighs 132 pounds. It knows Peck and Fire Spin. It can also learn Leer, Agility, and Sky Attack. It is good against grass, ice, bug, and fighting, but bad against fire, water, rock, dragon, and electric, and it has no evolution. It says here, on Route 23, on your way to the Victory Road, you may stumble upon the lair of the third legendary bird, Moltres. Like the others, it has been seen so few times that most people think it isn't real. Moltres is the bird of fire. Each flap of its wings creates a stunning display of flames. If spotted, Moltres disappears in a flash of fire. It's just as hard to capture as the rest of the legendary bird trio. Some Pokemon are so rare they're one of a kind. They are Articuno, Zapdos, Moltres, Mewtwo, Eevee, and Farfetch'd. And when we pick this up again next time, we will talk about the Dratini line and go from there. Anyways, this has been a reading from the official Pokemon Handbook, Deluxe Collector's Edition by Maria S. Barbo. If you like this content, make sure you like and subscribe and ring the bell so you know when I upload. And if you want to support me in any ways, all that information will be in the description below. And as always, thanks for watching, everyone, and have a great day.